Hi friends, it's Miss Ruthie and Miss Margarita doing the camera. Back to do another Godly Play story with you this week. Our stories are copyrighted by the Godly Play Foundation and we are videoing them with their permission. We can keep them up for 3 weeks and then we have to take them down. So if you haven't seen last week's story, hit pause and go back to last week's story and then come back to this week's. Today's story is called The Faces of Easter 5, Jesus as Healer and Parable Maker. And I will be summarizing the previous tiles in order to not take up as much time. So that's why it's so important that you watch last week's story first. Okay, friends, I hope that you are doing well, staying healthy, and getting out your wiggles before our story. So once you're ready to sit down and get comfy, we are going to get started. In the beginning, the baby was born, and the Word was born, a wordless child. And when Jesus looked up into the face of Mother Mary, the cross was already there. And when he looked up into the face of Father Joseph, the cross was there too. And Mary and Joseph held the baby close. They kept the baby warm and gave it everything it needed. And the baby grew. And the baby grew and became a boy. And when Jesus was about 12 years old, he went to the city of Jerusalem with his parents to keep one of the high holy days. And on the way back, Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus was not with the other children. So they went back to the city of Jerusalem and looked for him for 3 days. They finally found him in the temple with the priests. And when Jesus spoke, the priests listened because he knew so much. And when the priest spoke, Jesus listened because he wanted to learn more. Then Mary and Joseph asked Jesus the question that parents always ask, and you never know what to say. They asked him, "Why did you do this?" Jesus gave a strange reply. He said, "Didn't you know that I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph did not understand, but they did not forget. And the boy grew and became a man. And when Jesus was about 30 years old, he went down to the river Jordan, where his cousin John, who was a wild man, was baptizing people. And when John baptized Jesus and lowered him into the dark and chaos of the water and drew him back up into the light, there were people there who said that they saw a dove descend and come close to Jesus. There were also people there who said they heard a voice, who said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." Afterwards, Jesus crossed the river into the desert to learn what his work was going to be. Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. While there, a voice came to him and said, "Why don't you turn these stones into bread to have something to eat?" But Jesus said, "No. If you are to be truly human, you need more than just bread." The voice also told Jesus to jump off the highest point of a temple in Jerusalem to see if God would send his angels to catch him before his foot touched the stones. But Jesus said, "No, we do not test God." Finally, the voice asked Jesus that if he would follow him, he would make him king of all the kingdoms of the world. But Jesus said, "I will be king, but not that kind of king. And the voice went away, and Jesus crossed the river out of the desert to begin to do his work. So Jesus crossed the River Jordan to begin to do his work. But what was his work? Jesus' work was to come close to people, especially people no one else wanted to come close to. See here? Jesus is coming close to this blind man. So close, he is touching his eyes. When Jesus came close to people, they changed. They could see things they could not see before, and they could do things they could not do before. They became well. Jesus also told parables. Finally, Jesus knew he had to become a parable, so he turned towards Jerusalem one last time. Now I wonder what kind of art you are going to do today. It may be in response to something you heard in today's stories, or it might be something else that you have inside and want to share. And remember, I would love to see the art that you are creating. Just have one of your parents or caregivers take a picture and send it to us via email or text. And I hope that I can see you on Wednesday nights when we have our virtual Wednesday night suppers from 5:30 to 6:30 via Zoom. If your parent or caregiver has not received that information, please let them know that I am happy to send it to them. We will be doing that every week until we can meet again in person. And keep a lookout for our weekly Godly Play stories. Stay safe, my dear friends. Know that I miss you, that I'm thinking about you, I'm praying for you, and I know that this too shall pass, and we will be together very soon. I love you.